Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is me Anis.Rahman, final year MBBS student at Ahmedabad International Medical Institute, and you are watching Anis.Medventure. This video is third part in our series of introduction and approach to modular systems. First, we made a video on general introduction and approach of the modular system. Second, we made a specific video for first year MBBS that broken down into two parts, and this is the third video that is for general guidelines and approach to the modular system for second year MBBS. Well, this also might get longer. This is a disclaimer, so we might need to break it into two parts, though we will try to keep it as comprehensive as possible. So as with the first video, we'll break this video into 5 domains. Number 1, I'll discuss some general consideration. This part you can skip if you have watched our first video on first year MBBS guidelines. Second, we will talk about subjects in second year MBBS. Third, we will talk about the integration of those subjects into modules and blocks, which modules and which blocks will contain which subjects and how they will be tested upon. This is number 3. And number 4, we will talk about the resources as we did in the first video, and we'll break those resources into exam oriented resources and learning oriented resources. And number 5, I'll just give you an example as I gave you in the first video, how to integrate those learning oriented and exam oriented resources so that you get maximum out of it. Well, with this overview, let's start with our first part. Well, there are 5 general considerations I consider that every first year MBBS student should know. Number 1 is that once you step into MBBS, this is a different world than your FSC or A-levels you were in at your college. Because now most of the time you are on your own. In FSC or in A-levels, specifically in FSC, your teachers used to hold your finger and walk you step by step towards your exam, towards your studies, every question marked, and same syllabus you have studied, whatever you have studied, that was supposed to appear in exam. But that is not the case here. Here the resources are extensive, the syllabus is extensive, and your teachers at college are mostly your facilitators rather than step-by-step teachers. So you have to more depend on self-study. So this is first consideration you have to keep in your minds. Yeah. So secondly, you have to understand that do not fall into the trap of comparison. This trap of comparison is very dangerous demon which will eat you from inside. By this I mean that don't compare yourself with others in your class who is using what, or who is studying from which resources, who is studying from which thick book and I'm studying this smaller book, or someone is studying from three resources and I'm only using one resource, and someone is scoring above 90th centile and I'm just going above 70. And this comparison and comparing, if you are a private student, comparing yourself with a student at public medical college. So this comparison, this is just abolished once you enter into a professional degree. Not just for MBBS students, but students at large. Once you enter into a professional degree, you are colleagues more than competitors. So you have to help each other out rather than competing with each other. So helping will bring you more. So you have to go with this abundance mentality and this cornucopia of abundance rather than restricting yourself with the specific resources which you don't want to share with others. So that mentality won't work here. That is the second consideration. Thirdly, you have to understand that now you have to balance between learning oriented study and exam oriented study. Well, I won't discuss this in detail. We'll integrate this learning oriented study and exam oriented study into the resources which I'll discuss at the end, because I have broken down resources also into learning oriented resources and exam oriented resources. But for the time being, you have to understand that learning is an attitude which you have to develop. It's not a choice that, okay, today I want to learn something, let's go to the school and I'll learn something. It's not that way. It doesn't work that way. Learning is an attitude, not a choice. So you have to be of learning mentality. So if you have learning mentality, in whatever situation you are, you will never be bored. So if you are of learning mentality, you will love what you do. And that is my next consideration, that is the fourth consideration, that love what you do. It is rightly said that if you love what you do, you will never have to work a day in your life. So how do you love what you do? Well, for that reason, for that purpose, you will have to respect what you do. Respect comes first. You might have heard na, that adab pehla kareena hai mohabbat ke qareenon mein. So if you start with respect, respect yourself, respect your institute, respect your teachers, respect your colleagues, whatever comes in front of you, if you just learn how to respect someone, somebody, or something, you will just achieve a different level of bliss. And I just don't want to go into the details of psychology, but that's the fourth consideration I want you to make, that love what you do. And number five, otherwise you will be exhausted by the end of the day. And number five, find true mentors. And that's very true, because see, there are a lot of online resources in this digital world. What I am talking to you is through an online platform, but while talking to you through a video, I am asking you to not depend solely on videos. How ironic is that? But that is true. That, see, not everything can be caught up by online resources. You have to talk to your seniors, you have to find mentors. So finding a mentor, this is a fifth consideration, finding a mentor who is sincere, who is honest, and who is capable of being a mentor, that is very important. And that is very true for myself. Even when I went to first year MBBS, I didn't even know A of anatomy, but I found a mentor, alhamdulillah, and then things paced up. So finding a mentor in professional degree is very important, because see, now it's just like you talking to your friend on a video call, and you sitting with your friend at a restaurant, talking and eating and hugging and smiling and laughing, and both feelings are different. So it's just like watching just videos like this, or talking to a mentor. These videos can facilitate you, these can help you, these can supplement your primary education, but they can never replace it. So these are the five primary considerations I want you to make once you enter the first year MBBS. After you have made these considerations, now we go to the second part, that is subjects. Well, second year MBBS is actually a transition that is very smooth from first year, because most of the subjects you have studied in first year MBBS, they are going to be continued in your second year MBBS. So you will not feel very drastic changes as you will feel in third year MBBS, which we'll discuss later. But here the things will be pretty much similar. So I'll not spend much time on discussing what subjects will be there. Of course, there will be same subjects as they were in first year MBBS. Half of the subjects you have studied there, and half you will study in second year MBBS. So anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and anatomy further subdivided into gross anatomy, embryology, and histology. So these are the major chunk subjects in this second year MBBS. And of course, not to forget the fourth subjects, and they are vertically integrated subjects. I've talked a lot about it in my first year MBBS guideline video. Well, so these are the subjects. And number two, how are these subjects integrated into the modular system in second year MBBS? Well, in second year MBBS, you will have three blocks: block C, D, and block D, E, and F. A, B, C were in first year MBBS. Now, in block D, you will have two modules, neurosciences 1A and neurosciences 1B. But essentially, block D is neuroscience block, and it has two modules, both of neuroscience. So block D, anatomy, same subject. Block D, physiology, same subject. Block D, biochemistry, same subject. But here the emphasis is that much of the part will be from anatomy, and you might have to buy a new book for specific portion of anatomy, that is neuroanatomy, and this needs to be just hammered into the brain, neuroanatomy, because the further you go, the more you'll realize that neuroanatomy is very important to uh, excel not only in exams but in the clinical scenarios at large. So this is pretty much about block D, two modules and same resources as the first year MBBS and mostly neurosciences. Well, uh, what, what I want to tell you about D is that you cannot separate this anatomy from physiology as far as neurosciences are concerned. We study anatomy, we study physiology separately, and we keep them separate. So try to integrate both of them, because neuroanatomy is not separate from neurophysiology. Both of them go hand in hand. So you'll have to keep this in mind, that once you are studying neuroanatomy, you study neurophysiology together so that you integrate the subjects. It's not that now we also have modular system, so the exam will also be very integrated. So this is one thing I wanted to add about block D. As far as block E is concerned, block E, same anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, but here the major portion will be biochemistry. And biochemistry, the metabolism in biochemistry is the essence of biochemistry, and whole of the metabolism, the carbohydrate, protein, lipid metabolism, whatever it is in second year MBBS and it is in E block. So you have to make your biochemistry very strong in this block, and of course physiology is there and biochemistry is there. As far as the modules are concerned, this block also contains two modules, that is GIT module and hepatobiliary and renal module. So these two modules will be tested upon. As far as GIT and hepatobiliary is concerned, biochemistry, metabolism, you should be very uh, keen about learning about metabolisms, and I'll give you an example at the end how to integrate that metabolism so that you don't forget things. So biochemistry you have to keep in mind. Second, physiology, the renal block, much of the renal block will be constituted of physiology. So physiology is also very high yield in this block E. And third comes the anatomy, of course, then gastrointestinal anatomy and renal anatomy. All of this comes under this block E. So with this, we go to F block. Well, F, same subjects, anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and what the modules in this block are further to endocrine and reproduction. The endocrine module, that is considered the most easiest module, because it is very conceptual and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 things are very streamlined and very understandable. So and the content is very less, but it should be considered in mind that though in exam oriented learning and in classical learning style, this endocrinology seems easy, but clinically it is very challenging subject, endocrinology. But here you will study one module of endocrinology and another module of reproduction. Both of them are physiology predominant and anatomy predominant. The reproduction is more anatomy and physiology predominant, but endocrine is more physiology predominant. And if you study physiology correctly, you will cover most of your biochemistry also in this block. So resources I will discuss at the end. So these three blocks, and at the end I would discuss the vertical integration in all these three blocks. Of course, you will have medicine lectures, some surgery lectures, some forensic medicine, some pharmacology lectures. So vertical integration is very important. That tells you how you integrate different subjects, because see, ultimately your goal is patient care, and once a patient comes, neither they have studied a book or a chapter, and neither the disease knows that which patient I have to target. One patient will know he will have neurological disorder, he will have endocrine disorder, he will have a metabolic disorder. So all blocks into one patient. So there it becomes challenging. There is where learning matters. So vertically integrated subjects I was talking about, uh, you can the block D, in the block D, the vertical integration of medicine is a bit more, because the stroke medicine and the neurological diseases like Parkinson's disease or Brown-Sequard syndrome, and these few diseases which are from medicine are included in your block D. So medicine will have a higher proportion of vertical integration in block D. As far as block E is concerned, some gastrointestinal disorders and renal disorders are also integrated. We will not go into the detail. Of course, you will know as the time goes by. This is essentially an overview, general guideline video, not a specific video. So, well, and in block E, you will have some endocrine integrations, again from the medicine and reproduction integration. So this is essentially about number one subjects, and number two how they are integrated into modules and blocks.